Now, GlaxoSmithKline Nigeria is set to be closing operations in the African country. We want to understand why that is happening, even as we also have heard that there are other international companies like that that are set to also be shutting down operations in the country. We'll find out. On Thursday, GlaxoSmithKline Consumer Nigeria Plc announced through a press statement signed by their company secretary, Frederick Ichekwai, that it would be closing down its operations in Nigeria. Now, the company, whose primary activities include marketing and distribution of consumer healthcare and pharmaceutical products, said that its parent company, GSK Plc UK, had revealed its intent to cease commercialization of its prescription medicines and vaccines through its Nigerian subsidiary. Currently, the inflation rate in Nigeria is 22.79% as of the end of June, and further raising the cost of doing business. Meanwhile, shareholders of the firm have expressed displeasure but have no say in the decision since they are in the minority and the parent company holds controlling shares. This morning, we have Kassimu, Garba, who is the CEO, APT Securities and Funds, joining us to help us understand why this is happening. Thank you so much, Kassimu, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So what is your initial reaction when you heard that GlaxoSmithKline would be shutting down operations in the country? Did you actually see it coming?
Well, we see it coming because if you remember, they are the producer of Sun and Rabina. And this is one of the fast-moving items in terms of the consumer production. They choose to sell out that one to a Japanese company in Nigeria. And it shows you that if you have a product that is acceptable by the people and is selling, you choose to sell it out, it means that you don't need to grow further. Not only that one, remember that Pfizer also do the same. Pfizer decided to leave Nigeria and went back to America, but they sold it to Nigeria, and that is why we have May and Baker. I expect Glasgow, if they choose to leave Nigeria, they should get a Nigerian who will take over everything and negotiate with them and change the name. That's what I expected, not this one. But when we read it, that they made a decision to get out 29 countries, sub-Saharan Africa. If you add the 28 countries of sub-Saharan Africa, they don't seem that they are as big as Nigeria. But including Nigeria, it shows you that it's just a policy decision that they want to exit. And there is nothing we can do about it.
All right, so talking about decisions being made, the company mentioned that its parent company intends to cease the commercialization of prescription medicines and vaccines in Nigeria. So are there underlying factors that could have contributed to this particular decision, and could it have been avoided in any way?
Well, you see, in trying to enhance the performance of most of pharmaceutical, the federal government passed a law that henceforth you cannot continue distributing drug without manufacturing it. So now they redirect even the importation of the drug should go to the pharmaceutical. And having seen that, fix up their company, enhance their productivity, and they are now in large production. The same thing with May and Baker, but I did not know why Glasgow decided to do otherwise. So if they cannot expand and move into further production of the product, therefore the only option for them is to get out of the country, because the policy now enhance those companies to make more local production, and only those what they cannot produce locally, they will be allowed to import. So where we get just people that are carrying their bag going outside importing drug will not longer exist. Because with this policy, it means that you have to see the wisdom of being a pharmaceutical manufacturer before you allow you to import what you cannot produce. And that is why we see other companies are getting off. Because recently we have seen a right issue issued by one of the pharmaceutical companies, all in attempt to enhance their productivity.
All right, so if the Nigerian government is insisting that these companies should locally produce this kind of products for the Nigerian market, now we have a country where the economy is set to be a bit fragile. Of course, we have electricity being erratic, as the case may be. Inflation is on the high side, 22.79%. The cost of living has gone up. Cost of production has gone up. And when you talk about importing materials, either raw or nearly finished materials for the production of these products, you see that these companies would have to spend more. So when we don't have an economy that is conducive, an environment that is conducive for these companies to locally manufacture their products that they import from their parent companies, that would actually make sure that they don't spend more, why would they have to leave?
Well, they have to be because you need the market and the population, and that you cannot take it from Nigeria. We are talking of over 220 millions. And we can afford drugs because drugs are necessity. And you can see that we are more than 20% of the entire African market. So where do you supposed to be more than Nigeria? Fixing is there, and they are doing very well, and they are performing tremendously well, and the market is rewarding them. So if fixing can be successful, which is locally owned by Nigeria, what stopped Glasgow that have the brand across the world? Don't forget that drug like Panadol, drug like Androlibasol, these are the drugs that are family names in Nigeria. Almost every house you go, you will get Panadol and Androlibasol. So they are not.
All right, so now that we are seeing the exodus of multinational companies like this, what impact would it have on the Nigerian economy and its financial markets?
Well, definitely, sure, we don't need listing, but the beauty of it, they said they will make a scheme of arrangement whereby they will reward the shareholders, the minority. If they do so, there is no harm. We have May and Baker, we have Fixing, we have other company coming. So we go on. And Nigerian trust them. We have seen what we have done in the cement industry. Today we are net exporter instead of importing. Nigerians have the capacity in terms of technology, in terms of manpower, that we can establish more pharmaceutical company because the market is there and we can supply not only Nigeria, across West Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa. So I trust Nigerians who believe in pharmaceutical to please come. You can buy franchise from anywhere. Why do we have to go to China and India to import drugs? We can do it here.
All right. I'd like you to also help us understand this. What does the company mean by saying it plans to transition to a third-party direct distribution model for its pharmaceutical products? What is your opinion on this, and why? What will this have in terms of visible difference on its operation and revenue?
Well, for me, I want the federal government to insist no single distributor without manufacturer. What it means technically, if they have to liaise with any single distributor, that distributor must be a manufacturer, because that is the line that the federal government want to do. They want to stop all these people that will just carry their bag and import any kind of drug. You must be a producer here before they allow you to go. And if they do so, so whatever the GlaxoSmith has to do, they have to make an arrangement with another manufacturing company who will stand as a distributor. But just to be an ordinary distributor distributing drug, not it. And I will encourage the government, do not allow that, do not support that. We want Nigerians to be producing our own products, and we can take franchise from anywhere.
So what will now be the fate of the shareholders? Because we're already getting feedbacks that they are expressing displeasure over this decision with concerns about capital return and investment portfolios. So what would happen to the company's shareholders and, of course, the broader market generally?
We wait to see what the regulator is going to do. I can tell you, I have been in this market for the past 30 years. For the first time, I'm seeing a company saying that the minority, don't worry, I'm going to be delisted, I'm going to reward you. So I want to see how much are they going to reward the minority shareholders. And I can tell you this is the first time. Either sell the company, and today we have May and Baker. So they should have sold the company to somebody who will take care of the minority, and the minority have nothing to worry about. But since they choose to not exist and to pay the minority shareholders, we wait to see the scheme of arrangement, how they will reward the shareholder, and what are they offering for the shareholder. You can see the price start moving yesterday. in anticipating that they are likely going to pay a high dividend. So we wait to see the scheme of arrangement.
All right, thank you so much, Kassimu Garba, CEO, APT Securities and Funds.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Now, GlaxoSmithKline's decision is likely to impact employees, stakeholders, and patients who rely on its products and services. As the details surrounding the closure unfold, it remains to be seen what the future holds for this particular company and, of course, the Nigerian pharmaceutical landscape as a whole. Well, Kassimu has said that he's hoping that other players within the industry, within the health and medical industry, as the case may be, will be able to step up and fill this vacuum. That is the end of Business Edge for today. And, of course, this week you can visit our social media platforms at New Central TV and our websites, www.newcentral.africa, while you also download our mobile app on App Store and Play Store for several engagements and juicy reports that we have going on those platforms. So my name is Lekan Onabanjo. We see you some other time. To stay with us, we'll bring you the news at the top of the hour.